Hey guys, welcome to another ServerMiner plugin tutorial. I'm your host LTGym007 and today we're looking at the Graves plugin. Now as the name would suggest, this plugin allows you to get back to your body where you died, and there will be a gravestone with a cool hologram on top, and it will tell you a bit of information, and then of course you can get your items back if you return within the certain amount of time. So the first thing we're going to do is /graves. And that's going to say we don't have any graves, so let's go ahead and create one. So I'm going to step in the fire and just let it burn a little bit, and then once this is finished we can see what happens and what message pops up in chat. So it says you died, and then if we look in chat it says you died in test at these coordinates, a grave was created. So now if you did the grave command, that is going to list the graves, and you can see this one. It gives you the information about it. You can in fact teleport to it, which we are going to do. And then what you can do, you can have a look at the information. So it tells you whose grave it is, how many items are inside, how long it has left. So by default it's 3 hours, but obviously you can change that. And then the reason, burn to death. So what you can do is grab all your items, and you can see the number changing, which is pretty cool. And then you can see there's a grave token, so this is what you need in your inventory to allow one of these to be created, and if you take all the items it will be destroyed. It can also be destroyed by TNT, which is another cool feature you can put on, and then you can also turn it on for certain entities as well, which is really awesome. Now there's only a few commands we can worry about, so if we do graves and then help, you can see there's a few commands here. So if you wanted, you could look at a certain player's grave list. Although obviously I don't have any. You could reload the config file, there's a few of those, so if you made any changes you can do that. You can also give people tokens as a basic, and let's give 10 of them, and that would give 10 grave tokens for the player to use. So let's go ahead and check out the config file and see what we can do in there. So here we are in the SM Picnic control panel, and as you can see there are a few files and a few folders. So the data folder, as the name would suggest, that stores data. The schematic folder will give you the different types of gravestones depending on if it's the wither, during the snow biome, or just the default one, which is very cool. The config folder is the one we want to go in. So we'll start in the entity.yml. This is cool. So by default, obviously all players have it enabled, but if you wanted, you could enable it for the Ender Dragon and set an amount of time. You can change the block, and you can do the same for the wither as well. If we go back into the main config, this actually doesn't have too much in. You could set up an SQL database if you wanted to, and it's got various integrations. So do you want it to work with the furniture plugin, for example, or any of these others if you have those on your server, which is cool. Go back and go into token.yml. So this is where we've got the basic token. So it's a sunflower. You've got the lore, the recipe if players want to craft it, and then are people able to craft it, and then does it glow, yes or no. We want to go into grave.yml. So in here we have the default type of graves, so 10,800 seconds, i.e. 3 hours. The max, so you can have up to 18 at one time, which is cool. Can they be broken? Yes. Can they explode? Also yes. So it will intelligently avoid the void and lava, which is pretty cool. And then the worlds it will spawn in, so all of them, although you could choose certain ones. And then should a grave drop its contents when destroyed? Yes or no. And then how much protection do you want? So at the moment it's false, but you could set that to true, and then it would be 5 minutes before other people could get it. Teleporting, we saw that in game. So you can in fact teleport with a certain cost, or you could just set that to false if you didn't want players doing that. So here we are on the Spigot page. It's updated from 1.7 to 1.18. You can see it supports a ton of different types of servers and versions and mod packs, and then it integrates with all these different plugins, which is really cool. Obviously that's what it looks like. Very cool plugin, very well made. But if you need a server to host it on, check out ServerMiner.com for the best and cheapest hosting around. But that's it for me. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you next time.